This is the Harimann International Case Study by Bianca Sauls, Billy Rattery, Lakshmi Mandava, and Swathi Munda. Mr. Vikram Dhawan and his company Harimann International have been placed in a quandary. Mr. Dhawan started Harimann International in May 1990 with two motives. The first was to hopefully give him a better chance at his MBA, which he hoped to accomplish in the U.S. The second was to provide the necessary finances for him to cover expenses related to his MBA. In 1992, Mr. Dhawan's company was 10 million in Indian rupees. In U.S. dollars, that translates to $328,083 per year. The major issue at hand. Mr. Dhawan sent several samples to one of his larger customers, Pioneer Trading Limited, controlled by Mr. Mori Fuji. Pioneer Trading is based out of Japan, a key trade partner with India. For Mr. Dhawan, by dealing with the Japanese company, the rebates he receives from government go drastically up. After receiving the samples from Mr. Dhawan's company, Mr. Fuji sent a purchase order to Harimann International. The order was sent with the stipulation that Harimann International must ship the order on or before April 6, 1992. There were some initial issues with the delivery. Mr. Dhawan conducted an analysis with an 80% chance of an on-time delivery occurring versus a 20% chance of a late delivery occurring. In the event of a late delivery, it is noted that Pioneer would probably still accept the order, but with a reduced price. Mr. Dhawan used this information in his original analysis to determine the total values for both outcomes of an on-time and late delivery, which yields an average value of 216,084 INR. Given this information only, Mr. Dhawan should accept the order. This table shows Dhawan's analysis before the embroiderer changed the completion date. As we can see, the on-time delivery has a probability of 80% chance of occurring. This yields a total value of 315,238 INR. A late delivery is shown as well. This has a probability of 20% chance of occurring. This also yields a total value of negative 180,530 INR. As we can see, the average value of this case is 216,084 INR. With an 80-20 probability, Dhawan's average profit value is positive. Therefore, he should accept the order. After the embroiderer changed the completion date, Dhawan's analysis slightly changed. He considered parallel processing to reduce production time. The only thing wrong is that he never attempted to control such a process. This risk factor increased the probability of a problem arising by twice the rate at which problems occurred when processing was sequential. The chance of a late delivery rose to 40%. Dhawan's analysis after the embroiderer changed the completion date slightly changes. The on-time delivery chance of occurring is 60%. The total value remains the same, which is 315,238 INR. The late delivery has a chance of 40% occurrence. The total value is negative 180,530 INR. The average value we can see here is positive 116,931 INR. Even with a 60-40 probability, Dhawan's average profit value is positive. This alone means that he should accept the order. The new late delivery payment analysis. The monetary value for each case of a late delivery yields a negative value. But when evaluating the risk using the probabilities of both an on-time and late delivery, given each payment Pioneer is willing to make, Each case yields a positive expected monetary value. This indicates positive outcomes of accepting the order. The higher the EMV, the more confident Don Juan can be in accepting the order. Hence, the optimistic view has a higher EMV than the base case and the pessimistic case. The final analysis of an on-time and late delivery reflects a total EMV of 116,931 INR. This value is positive, therefore Don Juan should accept the order. Using the decision tree approach allows us to visualize the different possibilities of monetary value. We can expect these values to really occur. Upon evaluation of the expected payoff at each terminal, we can conclude that it is imperative for Mr. Don Juan to complete the order on time, as it is the only option that leads to a positive value. While this is true, using the rollback method allows us to develop the EMV as it calculates each monetary value is weighted by the probability of that monetary value. Again, the EMV of the project is 116,931 INR. A risk profile is a helpful tool to use in combination with the rollback of a decision tree. The rollback method calculates the probabilities of each outcome individually, which can be used to conduct a risk profile. The positive probabilities shown are more likely than the negative probabilities. This indicates an attractive opportunity for Mr. Don Juan to accept the order. However, even though the data shown is appealing, risk is still involved. There are two variables that will affect the outcome of the delivery date: the embroiderer completion date and the number of days it takes to complete the order. The earliest and latest delivery dates that can occur is shown below. As we can see, the base case yields a delivery date of April 8th. The optimistic case yields a delivery date of March 23rd, and the pessimistic case yields a delivery date of April 18th. Given the values in Table 4, we can conduct a one-at-a-time sensitivity analysis by varying one variable and holding the other variable constant using the base case values. Table 5 and 6 are shown below. Varying the number of days to complete the order yields an early delivery date of April 2nd and the latest delivery date of April 11th. Varying the embroiderer completion date, this yields a delivery date of March 29th and a late delivery date of April 15th. Our expected results indicate the delivery date would be on April 8th. If everything goes well, the order can be delivered as early as March 23rd. If everything goes bad, the latest the order will be delivered is on April 18th. Using sensitivity analysis, the delivery dates may vary between March 29th and April 15th. This tells us that the embroiderer completion date is the most sensitive and we must pay more attention to it. Don Juan is very limited in his selection of embroidery companies. There are only 8 to 10 in India, which represents an oligopolistic condition. It is also the end of the season, so switching embroiderers is near impossible. To help speed up the embroiderer's process, Don Juan can somehow help facilitate the materials for the contractor in a way that is beneficial for them. Not only will it help them complete the order in time, it may change the contractor's outlook on Harimann International as a whole, which can be beneficial for them in the long run. Given every evaluation tool used, it is wise for Mr. Don Juan to accept the order. The sunk cost of 188,400 INR should not be considered. Even though he can sell them at 90% of the cost, he did state that Pioneer would most likely accept the order. This synopsis is strengthened on the grounds of Pioneer being one of Don Juan's first customers. All decision tools used to make this choice do not and cannot reflect the intangible assessments associated. Don Juan's reputation with Pioneer could plummet if the order is late. This could definitely hurt or improve the overall image of Harimann International in Pioneer's eyes. To help speed up the embroiderer's process, Mr. Don Juan can somehow help facilitate the materials for the contractor in a way that is beneficial for them. Not only will it help them complete the order in time, it may change the contractor's outlook on Harimann International as a whole, which can be beneficial for them in the long run. Another thing for Mr. Dalwan to consider is discussing with the contractor to reduce the price of embroidering the material. If allowed, price reduction will reduce costs and it will strengthen the calculation. Furthermore, if Mr. Don Juan knew exactly when the embroiderer could complete the date, it would reduce the level of uncertainty and thereby increase the EMV of his decision. On the flip side, he may pay the embroiderer up to a particular calculated amount, the EBPI, to lock in the earliest completion date. The value of perfect information in this case could be very beneficial in making his decision. The value of perfect control is another method Mr. Don Juan should consider that tells him the maximum he should pay for a control based upon his desire that the delivery date would be on time. As per the probability analysis of uncertainty, the worst case scenario reveals a loss of 304,472 INR. The loss may vary from 72,081 INR to 304,472 INR and has a combined probability of 40%. Per the analysis, the probability of achieving profit is 60%. The analysis with the 60-40 probability has an average profit value of 116,931 INR. Even though Mr. Dalman is a risk-averse person, the probability of achieving loss is low if schedules are followed strictly according to plan. It will gain more profits and can achieve the deadlines within expected timelines. As per the overall analysis, the project should be handled carefully and monitored closely. The objectives and deadlines are very important because it is a very complicated operating process, and Mr. Don Juan had no such experience in parallel processing. Mr. Don Juan has to take up the project and implement according to his plan because, as per his analysis, the risk of a late delivery is 40%, while an on-time delivery is 60%. This also gives them good opportunities in the long run, allowing employees to prove themselves and gaining a good reputation.